what are you feeling today?
Mixed emotions, as you might imagine. Tough to leave, obviously, my family and my staff and breakfast bitch. I feel a lot of remorse, and it's really finally hit me that, you know, your past really never leaves you. The person that has been depicted and the person that maybe I was at one time is definitely not who I am today. But at the same time, I feel like I'm ready to go and get this started and get through it and kind of make the most of the situation, if that's possible.
How do you intend to do that?
I've already looked into a lot of different programs and started to try to sign up for them, or at least have them recommended, so that when I enter the system, that I'll be able to deal with some things, you know, psychologically, and just get myself together, make sure that the behavioral patterns that maybe have, you know, prompted me to make the wrong decisions in life at times, kind of try to go through some programs to combat that. I really feel like I've learned a lot about the system and how it, you know, it's meant to be that when you come out from making those choices and from paying your debt to society, you come out and you feel like you're ready to go, and it's never going to happen again, and you would never put yourself in that position, or the ones that you love, and it's not as easy as you think it is. So my plan, and I've put together a release plan, and a plan for when I'm in there. My plan is really to try to help other women as well. It's kind of what I love to do. It's what I've loved to do with this restaurant, and kind of what our mission always was. So yeah, my plan is to go in and work with other women and maybe empower all of us, if I can, contribute to that.
You know, you've been in this spot before. Are you afraid of anything? About to head into a sentence.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it and take the most positive approaches that I can. I mean, obviously, I'm more afraid for what's happening outside than I am about what's going to happen to me. I feel like I'm pretty tough, and with the right mindset, that I'll get through it all right. I have a great support system. My husband has been by my side completely and unwavering. So have my staff and family. My daughter came out to Phoenix and stepped in, and has been really spending a lot of time at the restaurant and helping kind of take the reins with my husband. So yeah, I think it's a strange feeling, but I was more afraid. Now I feel like they've got this. You know, I'll talk to them every day, and we're going to try to just keep this train rolling.
You know, the sentence the judge imposed was longer than even what the prosecutors had recommended after the sentencing review. Mm-hmm. How does that sit with you? Well,
it didn't sit well right away. I am appealing the sentence. And the way that happened was interesting. It wasn't just left to the judicial system. Like you said, the prosecutor was fine. He actually stood in court and said to the judge that he stood by his agreement. But the victim in this case hired her own attorneys that are ex-prosecutors, and really went hard to try to, contacted people like my ex-husband or anybody that might have had a grudge against me, my blood sister who I haven't talked to in almost 25 years, or has she talked to anyone else in my family, and just tried to get as much negative light on this as they could, and that's what did it.
Do you think the sentence is fair?
I'm not the one that had to impose the sentence, and if the judge felt like that was the best thing for the interest of justice, then I don't know. I can't really say. I mean, I'll tell you, I don't think that it's fair for what I actually pled to. What I pled to has been sensationalized greatly. Not to take away from the fact that I am remorseful for my part, but there's definitely been some extra stuff in there.
When you talk about remorse, we've talked with one of Jumana's attorneys. He said, you didn't seem remorseful. You don't seem like you regret it. What do you say to that?
I am absolutely remorseful. And again, it's what they may be perceiving is because it has been sensationalized and there were some added things in there. And I've kind of been dragged through the mud, and the media and my family and my staff have been dragged through this, and it can seem like it takes away from that remorse a little bit when I'm angered by the parts of this that are not true. But I've decided to just focus on, I am remorseful for what I did do, and just I can't go backwards. I can't take it back, and all I can do is deal with it head on. And I did apologize, and I am remorseful. I think, again, I'm sure the attorneys who said that, they have a picture that they've painted and they're sticking with it. I can't focus on that anymore or keep my energy, angry, because it's not going to help anyone.
What is the plan for the restaurant? Or the restaurants, I should say.
The plans right now are they're status quo. I mean, they're going to keep going, and like I said, we have the best staff I could ever ask for. They're like family to me. They're like my babies. I mean, so, and they've every one of them just been so supportive, and they're dedicated to making sure that they keep us strong.
Thinking back to prior to, the arrest and the indictment in this case,
Mm-hmm.
Did you think this would never come to the surface?
Yes and no. I mean, I knew that in the back of my mind this was out there. I knew that. And I absolutely didn't think that it would play out like this. Yeah, I think I'll stop with that.
Do you ever think about why you did what you did? That's
what I'm really looking forward to the most about going in. I feel like there are so many new programs. And I'm going to the women's camp, and they have a lot of different programs there that I feel like I really want to make the most of and find out why.
So you know where you'll be going?
I know what's been recommended.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you won't know until you go in tomorrow.
The designation is full,
yes.
Yeah.
And what does tomorrow look like, I guess?
So tomorrow I will surrender to the U.S. Marshals, and I don't know what it's going to look like from there. I guess I'll wait until they designate me, hopefully to the Phoenix camp, which is where the judge recommended I go.
What does it mean to have your husband and family members and staff being supportive of you in this time?
It means everything. If I didn't have them, I don't know that I would be as strong as I have been able to be. You know, from the outside looking in, you know, there's two sides to it, right? There's the supporters and there's the naysayers. So from the outside looking in, I can see why, you know, maybe the gentleman you spoke with said that I didn't seem remorseful, or the person that you spoke with. I'm just really trying to make it through every day and be resilient and stay strong, mostly for them, for my team, and for my family.
What do you want people to know about you?
I'm not a con artist. I've never targeted anyone, and that's not how that worked out. I mean, I don't know, I guess it's just more important for them to know that I'm dedicated to my staff, I'm dedicated to my family, I'm dedicated to the community, and things aren't always the way they look or they come out to be, sensationalized. But at the same time, I know where I went wrong, and I'm just ready to right my wrongs.
You know, when you say you didn't target anyone, I think there's another side in this that would say you did.
Right.
They felt it, that there was money taken, trust was broken.
Yeah. With that said, I will stand by saying that I did not target anyone. The way things unfolded in this situation, yeah, I'm hesitant to get into like all of the details. I don't want to risk anything else by coming from a different place other than remorse.
And how are you spending your today, the day before you surrender?
With my staff here for a while, and then I'll go home and have some quality time.
What's going to be the hardest part?
Saying goodbye.
What's going to keep you going?
Support from the outside, and also I think just my release plan that I've made and shared with my family and asked them to hold me accountable to it. I really think that that's going to be a huge part of this for me.
Is there anything else you want to share or say?
Not really. I mean, I'll be back, bitches. Hopefully stronger than ever.
That's why take the opportunity to speak out.
Yeah, I haven't, and it's been over 2 years that I've declined quite a few requests, and I just felt like, okay, it's time. I'm going in, and you know, whatever you want to know. At the time that I planned on talking to you, I kind of had a different mindset where I was still coming from a place of anger about the untruths, and in just a few days, I've really just come to a different place, and I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on what I did wrong and take the steps that I need to take to correct that.
And something that stood out to me too is that, you know, in looking through the court docket, before the sentencing, you had a lot of people write in on your behalf and say, you know, we see a different woman that's being portrayed in the media. What was that like to see or read? I don't know if you read them all.
I don't know if I read them all either, but I read a lot, and to be honest with you, that kind of kept me going, because I was like, oh, I'm not really a piece of crap, because everything else that you see, if I saw what you saw, I would say lock her up and throw away the key. you know, I didn't like the person that I was hearing all of this media about. It was, you know, horrible. So to know that my supporters, that the people that did write in with support, saw me for who I feel like I am, made a huge difference.
Okay, well, Tracii, thank
Yeah.
you.